Hey YouTubers! I just wanted to come on here and do a video. I noticed that when, well, I think from some of my other videos you can see that we switched from Abeka to Christian Light education this year because I really wanted to try the booklets. Being a working mom and homeschooling, I felt like that would be easier for me to kind of manage with the whole booklet system and having my son work more independently. So I wanted to hurry up and come on here because I noticed that when I was looking for Christian Light education videos on YouTube, there really wasn't a whole lot explaining the levels that I was looking at. So the level that I'm going to be talking about is the Math 4. So from K1 to K or kindergarten to fourth grade, we used Abeka Math all the way through. I love Abeka. The only thing I notice is as you get up in the grades, say like fourth grade, it moves quickly. And so I needed to just slow it down a little bit so that my son could learn more independently. So I found Christian Light publication, and it really appealed to me too because it's a lot cheaper than like Abeka and Bob Jones, but you still have the same quality. It's still a very solid curriculum. We moved very easily from Abeka to Christian Light without skipping a beat. And it was nice because Christian Light even kind of filled in those little gaps, things that I had not covered yet with him with Abeka. So first of all, you get booklets like this. And so what we did, Christian Light recommends that you do a placement test to see where your child is at, where they place. From what I understand, the numbers on the books, you'll see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. They're not necessarily the grade level, but just the level that your child places in. So for me, I felt like when we did Abeka fourth grade, that we still weren't grasping certain concepts like we needed to. So I really wanted to just go back and kind of redo fourth. But what I found was fourth here is kind of like it's still ahead, like you're still kind of doing like fifth grade. So if you're doing like math and language, with right now I'm doing math, language, Bible, and reading. Math and language have 10 booklets. So that means that you would do essentially like 4 lessons a week and a quiz. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we do a lesson, and Friday we save that for our quiz and test. So in each booklet there's 15 units or 15 lessons, and so you could get through like for 10 booklets that it comes, say like math, you could do like 1 booklet in 3 weeks if you did like a lesson a day. So what I noticed is that book 1 is like a review. So what it does is you do a lesson. Let me turn to a lesson. You do a lesson. If you score well on say this particular lesson, then you move on to the next lesson. If you don't score in the range that they prefer you to, then you do go back and do like there's a little pretest section, and you do that, and then you move on to the next. So this, if you want to skip it, this is kind of like a review of last year, what they would have done. You can skip it if you want to. We did the first book over the summer just to do a refresher, and so we worked through 401 throughout the summer, and then by the time we started in August, we were ready for 402. So like I said, there's 10 books for math. This is the last one for 10. So what I noticed is, let me go through one lesson real quick with you. I'm trying to hurry up and make this quick. So in the beginning of the book, there's going to be a story about, say, like a missionary family. They go to a certain country. So throughout throughout the book, you're going to stay with that same theme of wherever they are in the world in that family. So let's say lesson 1. We have here the first page the first page is going to be your new concept that you are learning. That's your new lesson. On the next page under We Remember, that's what you have learned in your previous lesson. So a lot of times I will have my son do the new concept, and whatever we learned that previous day or that previous lesson here. Now, one of the things, and we have mental math here if you want to have them practice on doing math mentally. We also have skill builders in this same lesson. So you can see there's a lot of problems. Saying hi to us. There's a lot of problems in just one lesson. So what I noticed with this lesson or with this book, it's in the lessons, there's a lot of problems. And so I think my son was getting a little frustrated doing a lot of problems in one lesson. So what I did is each day I just, because I know that he's grasping the concepts, I do the new concept, and then I do what we have learned, part of what we remember. And sometimes I do odd problems, even problems, or sometimes I say just work on the new concept if I know that he's already mastered the previous lesson. So it's kind of flexible that way. You can kind of, sometimes doing all the problems can be kind of overwhelming. So you can just kind of, work it to what best fits you. So also they have answer keys. They have answer key booklets for 5 books here and then 5 books here. So inside the answer key, it's just what it says. You're just getting the answers. Okay? And so for me, I actually ordered the teacher guide and the answer key. I think that if you're, for next year when I order this, for the answer key, I don't think you need this because you also have answers in here. So in the teacher's guide, it's going to kind of tell you on the sides what drills that you want to, I don't know if you can see, what drills you can work on. I need to paint my nails, sorry. What drills you can work on, lesson prep. And what I like about the teacher guide is that it also shows you the page that they're looking on, and the answers are right there. So that's why I'm saying you don't need the answer key. I didn't know that going in, but next year I will just only order the teacher's guide. Okay, well, my next video I will go over the language and the Bible and everything else. I just hope this gives you kind of, sorry the video went long, hope this gives you kind of a general overview of what it looks like. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.